Selah, Madrid, and this is my story. Good morning, y'all. I work for an up-and-coming fintech company, financial institutions. So riding shine. This is my desk. Yeah, and then usually I just come in, clock in, say good morning to everybody, and that's like my morning routine. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Good morning.
What's that?
So I guess I probably should be on my phone. She's recording me.
My back kills today, down here.
Bro, I'm exhausted. And I'm still pissed I left my keys at the gym. Like that was an extra 15 minutes I could have been asleep.
What's going on, everybody? You've probably seen me on previous episodes. I'm around quite often. I'm Nick, for those of you who haven't seen me on this series, I guess you can say. It's hard to kind of put a timestamp on it, but physically, when she started going to the gym, you just could tell she just had a more broad stance, a little bit more filled in. Her voice was dropping. It's kind of crazy because, me, myself, I'm kind of oblivious. Actually, I could be the most. I can notice the smallest details, or I can notice nothing at all, even though it's, screaming at my face. So, I actually found out that she was, going through, actual hormone transition from a friend, her friend Vanessa. And I was like, wow, it kind of connected all the dots. And I was like, this makes sense now. I was like, that's super cool. At the time, me and Sayla weren't as close as we were. Well, there's a funny story behind that, but we'll leave that for another time. But yeah, I mean, mentally, you could just tell that it was weird for her, and she didn't really know how to handle it all. But at the same time, she was enjoying the ride, and she felt. You could just tell that she felt more grounded within herself. As chaotic as it all seemed, she seemed more grounded.
There was
Hello, Sarah.
there was now snow. Passively nice.
So here's our training room. This is where we hold most of our trainings, and like tenured agents will come in here and still train certain things. Most of my trainings though are all digital because we train and are outsourced out in the Philippines. So yeah, but this is where we do our trainings for the building here, and yeah.
Hi, my name is Renisha. I've known Sayla for about almost 2 years now. She's a great person to work with. She's very cool, collective. She's calm. She has a good, positive attitude every time I see her. She's always smiling. Sayla's getting built. I told her I want to be just like her with the muscles and stuff. Her voice is changing and stuff like that. I can definitely tell from when I met Sayla a while back. Yes, she did have some of the features or whatnot of the transitioning, but now you can see it more and it is standing out. And I think it's real cool. I think she's still the same old person that she's always been to me. You know, she has her hair cut real nice and sharp, and so she's always carrying herself to make herself look neat and professional-wise. So, yeah, she's the same person to me. For me, right now I am 36. I basically came out back in 2000 and I would say 2004, 2005. I was in my 20s as well. It was hard. I basically, no one knew of my my sexuality at that time. No one knew what was going on. It was just me and my significant other that I was with. Um, it was kind of hard because being in that situation, you do get judged a lot. You kind of get looked upon and down talked or stereotyped and stuff like that. So it's hard. You don't know who to talk to, and then it's like you don't really want to disappoint family because you don't know how they will react to you. Can say that my mom was very acceptable to it. You know, she's basically one thing that she said to me is that I'm going to love you no matter what you decide to do. If you decide to date females, I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to love you. And I think that's very important because nowadays you have kids or even adults now who parents will not accept them, you know, and that's very hard because that's what's going on now. You got a lot of bullying going on, so kids are taking their lives over this. And at the end of the day, no matter what, you're still the same person. You're just doing something different that other people doesn't like, you know. And yeah, I do understand some people think that's different and whatnot, but it's not. I'm still the same person I've always been. Instead of being with a male, I'm dating a female.
Hi, my name is Judy. I know Selah from work. That's initially how we met. And we've hung out a few times outside of work. She's really funny and outgoing.
My name is Jasmine. I've originally met Selah from work as well. We've also hung out with her several times. I mean, a couple times outside of work. She's definitely a great time. Definitely cool to hang out with.
She loves to dance. You know, she does these little funny dances. And her laugh is really contagious. So as soon as you hear her laughing, like you don't even know what everyone's laughing about, but you know, you just start laughing. So
yeah, she's always a great time. I mean, like I can recall several times where we've gone dancing and she'll literally like make me get out of my seat and make me dance without even having to ask me. Just like her whole energy and her vibe is just extremely contagious, and you know, you make yourself do things that you wouldn't expect yourself to be doing just because she's doing it. And it's kind of like she just brings you out of like your comfort zone, makes you comfortable.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I just have both of you guys like walking down.
But yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. How's everything been though?
Like with this stuff.
Everything.
Well, this has been really good. I think it's gonna be pretty successful. So yeah, but other than that, everything's good. Me and Nick are gonna be bartenders.
No
on the
way.
weekends, yeah.
Really? Where?
We dropped off some resumes over at Bourbon, and then and then
We know where to go now.
and then we dropped off a resume at London Bell, and then Twist. We're gonna go talk to them tomorrow. So we're excited. We're gonna rack up that money for
I
the
know.
winter time, and then summer we're gonna go all out.
You'll get yourself all the girlfriends.
All of them.
But it was pretty heartbreaking to know that there are people out there taking other people's lives because of, you know, them not feeling comfortable in their skin. Can you guys speak to that?
yeah, I mean, it is a pretty like touchy subject just because like when I had first came out, my mom was very against it. And that still happens, you know, to this day. People still are uncomfortable with people of the same sex being in a relationship, or uncomfortable with the fact that you know, an individual is not comfortable in their own body, so they're willing to go through a transition. And people say some really nasty and hurtful things, but at the end of the day, you really just have to be true to yourself and not care about what anyone has to think, and make sure that you surround yourself with people who love you and support you, and we'll be there for you.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that the whole thing where like it was all these flags representing different people who lost their lives, and that's just quite devastating. I mean, just because you want to be the person that you want to be, you shouldn't. No one should do any kind of violence to you or towards you just because you're just trying to find yourself and you're just trying to continue to grow and be the person that you want to be in this life. Like, that's unfair to cut somebody's life short just because they don't want to look a certain way, or like, that's just completely unfair. I just can't wrap my mind around not wanting someone to be who they want to be. It just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I've definitely seen up and downs, especially with relationships. I've probably seen like a different side of it, like how it plays hand in hand, you know, her transition when it collides with like a relationship. I mean, granted, I'm not blaming her at all. Like, that's something that she's never experienced or really knows how to handle. I mean, neither do I when I give her advice, but coming from just like a place where if I was in her shoes, like how would I handle this? And putting my own life experiences into play when I'm speaking on this for her. But overall, if you were to like ask me if she was the same person from now to maybe even 2-3 months ago, she has made incredible strides in personal growth and just like mental health. And I don't think anybody realizes how crucial mental health is, like in general, let alone completely reinventing yourself, but not reinventing yourself because this is like who you've always wanted to be.
No matter what you decide to do to your body, you still that same person that you've always been. Even if you decide to transition from being a female to a male, no matter what, it's just body parts. It's just something that you're doing, but you're still true to yourself. And at the end of the day, you have to do what's going to make you happy. You can't live your life for no one else. You live it for yourself.
No, you know what happened though? When you were telling her earlier and I left,
Yeah.
she was moving the whole time.
Really? She was trying to find me. That's why.
Probably. Push and I still move.
I don't want to make you pee.
And it literally has none of like the.
That's so weird. Did you know before I would never touch pregnant people's bellies? It freaks me out.
Why?
And then just like Destiny was like the first one.
What are you talking about?
The characters
Oh.
that are playing.
You're gonna be her favorite, right?
Yeah, I am. We already have a connection.
So when I need a babysitter, Uncle Sayla. You got this.
It's kind of hard to comment on that because like someone's first reaction who obviously isn't in that state of mind with such hatred is like you want to respond in anger. But, you know, fighting fire with fire isn't going to get you anywhere. So really anybody who approaches, you know, the whole LGBT community in like a very hateful way, I think one thing is like you got to keep in mind that like so they're out here not only kind of living in fear to express themselves and be who they are, but on top of that, living in fear to jeopardizing their safety, like their life. Like that's insane to me. Like could you imagine like waking up every day and like kind of wanting to be seen so bad, but at the same time like kind of hiding in a shell? That just seems miserable. And nobody should really have to live like that.
Literally went out at 5:40. It was fine. Took out Kingston. Went back out 10 minutes later, and it was like a goddamn blizzard. I'm like, what kind of sick joke is this?
I mean, not everybody has the same beliefs that we all have, but that doesn't necessarily mean that anybody is less than you or more than you. And I guess that's just a concept that not everybody can grasp. And all we can do is just educate them, show them love that they can't seem to give out themselves, and let it be what it is. But hopefully what Sayla's doing now is opening like a gateway to, you know, educating people on that or giving people like a more, what would I say, like a more personal and intimate perspective coming from, you know, her close friends or Selah herself, like going through all this, like you're hearing it from, you know, the actual source. So anybody watching this, I hope, you know, it's not just because you want to be nosy or you're bored, but I hope everybody can take something from this.
I would just want Sayla to know that I'm here for him. I support him. And I hope, you know, that he knows that there are many of us who are supporting him and really just have love for him and think it's pretty badass that he was able to get out of his comfort zone and do something that a lot of people can't manage to do.
Yeah, I would just say, like, Sayla, you're beautiful inside and out, regardless of what you want to look like or the person you want to become one day. I mean, at the end of the day, like, we're still going to be your friends. We'll still be here. You can hit us up whenever you want. Like, nothing's going to really change. Sayla is Sayla, and that's just how it's always going to be.
We all have to be loving one another. We have to basically help each other. And being that we're all in the LGBTQ community, we have to stand up for each other and support each other, because if we don't, who will? So I think that that really touched home, and it lets people know and it lets everyone else know, you know, we have to do something to help others who are falling. Like I said, Selah, she has a lot of support right now. Everyone is in her corner throughout this, which I think is really good and is so cool. And I feel that if other people who are going through this can have that same support, it'll be an awesome thing. So I think this is something that what she's doing, I think this is great.